Hey everyone, welcome back to the Critic-Verse. We're starting our recap and review of the boys spinoff Gen V. And in true Amazon fashion, they dropped the first 3 episodes all at once. And as a viewer, I love it, but as a reviewer, it's gonna take some work. Now, before we get to the recaps, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to follow along as I continue reviewing this season of Gen V. Keep updated on all things Critic-Verse and help me reach my current goal of 500 subscribers. And spoiler warning if you haven't seen the episode, as I will be recapping all 3 episodes before the review. The first episode is titled God You. The title is obviously in reference to the main setting and fictional university, Godolkin University, where all our main characters attend / are confined to and are faculty there, where soups are either on the crime fighting track, like real world college athletes, or on the movie star / actress track, including student rankings and a draft. But we quickly learn what it means to be number one and also learn that God U is housing a dangerous secret in its woods. The episode begins our coming of age show with young Marie coming of age and getting her first period and her powers at the same time. And in an uncontrolled moment of fear, kills both of her parents. Now, Marie lives in Red River Group Home, where she waits to see if she got into God U. And she does, but she is warned to not screw up or she'll end up in the adult facility in Elmira. God U has a college commercial where they show the 2 schools, Crimson Countess School of Performing Arts or the Lamplighter School of Crime Fighting, where the top 3 students, Golden Boy, Luke Reardon, number 2, Jordan Lee, and number 3, Andre Anderson. We then meet Emma, Marie's roommate, who can shrink and is also a YouTuber, kind of a kindred soul. Marie finds out she was rejected from the Crime Fighting 101 by the TA, Jordan Lee, and pleads her case with Professor Brink himself, but he shuts her down. And it's kind of an inverse on what would usually be a feel-good moment. And we learn that Jordan Lee is a bi-gender soup, and we don't yet know what her power is. Marie and Andre team up to help campus security stop a student rampaging, yelling about the woods, and they claim that he was tweaking. Next, Luke is told by Brink he's skipping the draft and going straight to the 7, and the 2 share a tender embrace. Andre invites Marie out with him and his clique, and Marie is convinced by Emma to go. And Andre's clique includes Golden Boy, his girlfriend Kate, and Jordan Lee. And after Emma starts to hook up with a guy that she met previously, we find out what it takes for her to get small. The group then goes to a club where they engage in recreational drugs, and Marie tries Molly for the first time. The top 3 students talk about Luke in the 7, Jordan's chances of being number 1, and Andre wanting to stay at number 2 because the pressure of being number 1. Andre makes a sexy wager with a woman at the bar, but ends up mortally wounding another woman. But the group leaves because they don't want to get caught, while Marie stays behind and uses her powers to save the woman's life to everyone's praise and going viral the next day. Marie speaks with Professor Brink and it's going well, and you're just kind of waiting for the other shoe to drop, and there it comes when he tells her that she's been expelled to cover up for the top 3. Luke has been experiencing vivid hallucinations of the woods the entire episode and his brother. We see We see that after Marie's sister finds her, she calls her a monster, which appears to be Marie's drive for her little sister to not see her that way. Next, Luke goes to see Professor Brink, cutting back to Marie, who then also goes to see Professor Brink, walking in to find Luke killing Brink by fire. She tries to play along, but he realizes that she isn't going to be quiet and flares up, and Marie takes flight. I don't mean literally, she just runs away. Marie bumps into Jordan, who tries to calm Luke down before realizing that they may have to fight him. Switching back and forth between her male and female form, and each form having their own ability. The male form is pretty much invulnerable and strong. Luke's fire not even managing to singe their clothes. I bet Luke probably wishes he had that ability, because every time he flares up, it burns his clothes off. But the female form is able to use this kind of like force blast to push people away. So it's sort of an attack and defense kind of thing. But eventually, Luke does manage to take them down. In the quad, Andre is shooting a student ad for Turbo Rush. He then sees Marie running, and Luke flared up coming after her. He tries to talk him down, and the pair hug. Luke then tells Andre something, but we, as the audience, don't hear what he's saying. Luke looks around to see everyone's shock at what he's done, and then he flares up and flies into the sky and explodes, raining down on the surrounding area. End of episode. Episode 2 is titled First Day, probably because it's literally the first day of classes at God U, and after the events of last episode, Marie is catapulted into the limelight and gets to feel what it's like being in the top 10 at God U, even what the perks are and what are the downsides. But we also get to see Emma's first day in the acting school and just what some students will do to get likes, subscribers, or followers. Also, again, this is Marie's first day in the limelight, being essentially famous. The episode picks up right after the last one with Marie and Andre still stuck there but in new clothes without all the blood covering them, while people in hazmat suits are cleaning Luke off the pavement. Ashley has a meeting with the God U trustees, and they talk about how to spin this, pushing Andre and Marie to the forefront, leaving Jordan Lee out of the story because the bigender identity doesn't sell well in some states. But with the two, Marie and Andre, they'll score points in the NAACP. Emma greets Marie, only for Marie to say she wants to keep her head down. Marie experiences a weird moment of having fans, including a Chalamet lookalike, and finds out she's in the top 10, number 8 in fact. Andre is now number 1, but Jordan has been dropped to number 5. Marie meets Jeff, the school's social media coordinator, who gives her a bunch of Vought tech and informs her of her newfound viral fame. Andre's dad pushes him to accept his new ranking. Marie is given a crash course and a photo shoot. Andre and Marie talk about Luke's final words, and while Andre wants to look into it further, Marie still wants to keep her head down because she has no one looking out for her and no safety net, unlike Andre and the others. The acting class is led by the director that made Dawn of the Seven, and he makes a partner project. And while Emma is rejected by the guy she slept with in the last episode, the girl that she also met at the same time picks her as a partner. Marie is then shown auditing the junior crime fighting class after Jordan Lee rejected her. Jordan pleads with Marie to tell the actual story about what happened because Jordan's bi-gender identity doesn't play well with certain demos, and Marie meets with Dean Shetty, who plays nice but knows all about the woods. Emma's new scene partner leaks her purging secret and feigns it as women's empowerment. Andre figures out Luke's cryptic last message and finds a hidden phone in the codpiece of his dad's statue. And on the phone is a video of Luke admitting that his brother is alive and that Brink knew and that he was going to go get him back. But if that they're actually looking at this video, then something went wrong. And he wants Andre to investigate further, and Andre does too, but promises Kate he won't in the meantime. Andre is late going to the interview, and he sees a piece of Luke left behind and knows what he has to do. After making his way into Brink's office and using his powers to get into his secure computer, he finds out that Sam is actually the guy that he and Marie helped capture in the first episode. And when Andre is late to the interview, they take him out of the story altogether, much to his dad's chagrin. And Marie is informed by Haley Miller about her sister, which pushes Marie back on the script. In a moment of weakness, Marie falls into Dean Shetty's clutches. Andre gets caught but disarms the guy, and we also get exposed to a new weakness that for Soups in strong sounds as they hear on higher frequencies. After being saved by Kate, we learn that Kate has a limit to her powers and she passes out in Andre's arms. Episode 3 is titled #ThinkBrink, which is referring to the gala and the foundation that the trustees put in place to put a spin on the tragedy of Luke killing their most respected professor, but also an opportunity to present Marie like a show pony to potential investors and alums to pull out their checkbooks. It's also the episode where our core characters start to come together. The episode starts in a flashback 2 years prior, with Luke and Kate visiting Sam at Sage Grove Mental Facility. And it's right after The Boys Season 2 Episode 1, when the news about Compound V was revealed, and Sam is freaking out because he's upset because he finds out that their parents are the ones that technically did this to him. And one of the guards overreacts, and then eventually Sam's fist comes out of his mouth. He knocks out Luke, but Kate knocks him out. She then wakes up in present day. Andre and Kate trauma bond, which sparks a hookup between the pair. Marie discovers Emma after she purged too much to the point where she's at the size of an ant. The roommates then begin to argue about how their self-harm is just a part of their powers to one another, and it doesn't end up well for either of them. Dean Shetty lays the parent act on thick with Marie, bringing her smiley face pancakes and inviting her to the gala as her guest. Andre's dad is an overbearing parent living vicariously through his son and is ordering him to come to the gala in response to missing his big interview. Justine apologizes to Emma, and while it sounded sincere, it turns out to just be more content for her channel. Emma's mom shows up, and she's a total momager, setting up Emma to come to the gala as well. Marie, looking for a friend, finds Kate and gets chastised for taking credit and going along with the story that paints Luke as a villain. Female Jordan is having sex, but is surprised by their parents, who only seem to recognize them as him. Marie is being paraded around the gala like a show pony, meeting agents and helping the dean get donations, lying about her family. Emma's mom is trying to push a reality show idea on her about her eating disorder. Jordan's parents bulldoze over him, trying to win over the only trustee that actually pushed for him after the whole incident. Marie and Emma have a heart-to-heart while helping Marie pee in her fancy dress and become friends again. Andre and Kate have an awkward post-intercourse meeting. Jordan's dad has a hard time accepting who his child is, both parts of them, and not just the male part. Andre brings Emma into his crusade, needing someone who can sneak past all the cameras, but Emma agrees, wanting to be more like a hero like Queen Maeve. Next, Emma sneaks into the woods with a tablet so Andre can track her. She then sneaks into Sam's room on his food tray, but he sees her and uses a plastic cup to trap her. Back at the fundraiser, Andre tries to explain the situation to his dad, but we as the audience know he's a trustee and he already knows about the woods, telling Andre not to tell anyone. Sam thinks Emma's a manifestation of his psychosis, till she proves otherwise. Sam is afraid of who he is, and Emma lies that Luke sent him to get him out, which is sort of a half-truth, and then it's revealed that Sam actually knows the codes, and he's willingly staying there. Marie reveals her tragic backstory to Kate and Jordan, and how this night actually makes her feel. And then Kate reveals when her powers first kicked in, and it made her lose her brother. Sam and Emma connect to one another, and I gotta admit, the pair are really cute together. And Andre shows up and gets them all up to speed on the Emma and Sam situation that he just created. And after an alarm goes off, Sam tells Emma how to get out before he's electrocuted through the floor. When a guard shows up, ransacking the room, and continues to electrocute Sam, Emma springs into action, attacking the guard by crawling through his ear, killing him. End of episode. Well, damn, what a crazy 3-episode premiere. And I already want episode 4, which will probably be up by the time this review is up. A couple of thoughts I had on these episodes, starting with the whole coming of age theme that really shined through, with the first scene being a girl getting her period, and then how it just went horribly wrong in the boy's fashion. Then the golden boy twist. All of the promotional images, I thought he was going to be in the show full time, but technically he's only in the show for the first episode present day, and maybe everything else we see after is probably just flashbacks. The Jordan Lee character feels the most interesting to me, since they seem like a trans allegory, but I kind of theorize, and I might be looking too much into this, like with the science behind them, that they might be a resorbed twin, which is just like in the womb, the male twin absorbed the female twin, and when they came out as one baby, after they got the compound V is what is able to make the female Jordan manifest, since it was revealed that she was born the male version. And then it also explains why they kind of feel like two different personalities and why they have a different power set per person. And it's also interesting how a lot of these characters have real world problems, but exaggerated in the boys' fashion. Like Marie cuts herself to activate her powers, Emma purges to activate hers, Andre has legacy powers, which makes his father more overbearing, even saying that he's going to be the next him, giving him his superhero name. Kate has an inability to be touched and can't touch others and has to constantly wear gloves, even shown when she's sleeping with Luke in bed. Sam's schizophrenia is even amplified by his super strength. And Luke is a poster boy with just has this poster boy facade, and he even actually is a great guy, but has this terrible secret. Speaking of Sam, him being 2 years younger than Luke puts him at the same age as Marie and Emma, which adds fuel to the connection between the two characters, but also sets him in their age range to keep it equal characters that are Kate, Jordan, and Andre's age, and Marie, Emma, and Sam. Luke, which is funny because Luke knew what Sam looked like currently, but they only showed a child character in his hallucinations, and it was probably to keep the mystery up until episode 2. And Sam is also willingly staying in the woods because he's afraid of himself, and he admits that he knew the codes to the doors all along, which explains how he got out in episode 1. And I also feel like this show was putting Andre and Marie together, but after he invites her out in episode 1, he doesn't actually hit on her at all and is just pretty nice to her, which is kind of just a nice change of pace just to see that. And it also has a unique, not a unique take, but an intake on celebrity culture and how people ask for selfies and take them anyway, regardless of the person's answer. Anyway, that's all I have for these first few episodes. Again, can't wait for episode 4. Let me know what you guys think of the first 3 episodes in the comments. Thanks for joining me in the Critic-Verse, and I'll see you next time.